How's it everyone? Cheatin' Lefty here. And recently, the new first run Onyx just dropped, probably about a week and a half ago. And you know what? A lot of people have asked me just how different is the test flight, the prototype, and the first run are from each other. So let's go ahead and take a look. As you can tell by the profiles, there really isn't a whole lot of difference between them. They are the same mold. However, I will say that in the hands, the first run does feel a little bit flatter than the other two. First, I do want to apologize. I did not measure any of these throws just because daylight is dwindling here in Minnesota, so I just did not have the time in order to measure each and every shot. However, they were all between the range of about 275 to 290. All right, so let's go ahead and compare the flight paths. So the test flight and the prototype mirror each other very, very well. In fact, they both kind of have the same amount of turn before they both flip up to flat and begin to hyzer, and they both have a very similar dump at the end, though I will say that the prototype has a slightly harsher dump than the test flight. How about the first run? How does it compare? Well, it's very, very subtle, but it does hold slightly straighter than the other two. If you throw the first run flat, it's going to hold just a slightly straighter line, a little bit longer before having the predictable finish, while when throwing it on an anhyzer line, it's going to hold that anhyzer line just a tick more than the others before again having that real predictable finish. So if you're a player that is finding that the test flight, or say you've only been throwing the prototype and you find that the prototype is just a little bit slightly too overstable for you, I think maybe a lighter weight first run might be exactly what you're looking for, as it's going to hold a slightly, ever so slightly straighter line, but it's still going to be very predictable and will still hyzer out even into headwinds. So while the first run is just a hair straighter than the other two, I'd have to say if you're looking for the more overstable, the prototype is what you'd be looking for, as the prototype has just a tad more overstability than the other two. However, the difference in stability between them is so very subtle, almost not even noticeable unless you're throwing shot after shot after shot with them side by side. Which is why I feel that it doesn't matter if you're throwing the first run, the test flight, or the prototype. They're all so similar. They're all so consistent. So if you're really looking to take a look at the Onyx, honestly, I really don't think it matters a whole lot on which one that you're getting. All three are so similar, you could probably wipe the stamp on each of them and hand them to someone, and they wouldn't really be able to tell the difference. That's how close all three of them fly. In fact, where I think you're really going to see the difference is if you're throwing a max weight Onyx versus a lightweight Onyx. Well guys, thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. Huge shout outs to Discraft and Riverside Pro Shop for the continued support. They are awesome, but you know who's even more awesome? You guys, the community. You guys really make this happen. Thank you.